My husband told me that cheating was a biological necessity because my 7-month pregnant body wasn't meeting his needs. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just opened a new folder on my laptop and titled it The Audit. Mark and I have been together for 8 years. When we first saw the 2 lines on the pregnancy test, he cried and promised to be my rock. But by the 2nd trimester, that rock started to crumble. It started with small comments. He'd look at my swollen ankles and say, "Are you really wearing those sweatpants again?" Or, "I haven't had a real night with you in months, Sarah. A man has requirements. I'm an ER nurse. I work 12-hour shifts on my feet, carrying 30 pounds of extra baby weight. I come home feeling like my back is being hammered with hot nails." Mark works in consulting, which apparently involves a lot of late-night networking at a high-end hotel bar downtown. I found the truth on a Tuesday. Mark left his iPad on the kitchen counter while he went to the gym. A message popped up from a contact saved as new associate. It read, "Last night was incredible. Can't wait until that pregnant whale finally goes to sleep tonight so you can come over to my place." My heart didn't break. It went cold. I've seen enough of these situations to know that the person who reacts first loses. The person who documents first wins. For the next 3 weeks, I played the part of the tired, clueless wife. I'd kiss him goodbye at 8 p.m. when he went to his extra meetings, and the moment his car pulled out of the driveway, I went to work. I found the secret credit card first. He'd spent over $5,000 in 2 months on designer jewelry, hotel rooms, and weekend trips. Then, I installed a tiny dash cam in his car. I collected hours of audio of him and his associate, who turned out to be a 22-year-old girl from his office, laughing about how boring and huge I'd become. But the biggest find was the bank statements. Mark had been investing our joint savings into a private account. He'd moved $40,000 of our baby fund into it, thinking I'd never check the math. I waited until the day of our big family baby shower. Both sets of parents were there. His boss and colleagues were there. Even his associate was there, acting as a helpful coworker. We stood in the backyard in front of a giant boy or girl cake. "Before we cut the cake," I said, picking up a microphone and smiling at the 50 guests, "I wanted to show a video of how Mark has been preparing for our new arrival." Mark beamed. He looked like the poster child for fatherhood. I pressed play on the projector. Instead of nursery photos, the screen showed a scrolling list of the secret credit card statements. Then, the audio from the car started playing the part where Mark told the girl he was going to wait until the breastfeeding phase was over before divorcing me so he didn't have to deal with the messy parts of a newborn. The silence in that backyard was so thick you could hear the neighbor's sprinkler 3 houses down. Mark's mother dropped her plate, and the sound of breaking ceramic was like a starting gun. "It's a boy," I said, looking Mark directly in his pale, bloodless face, "and he's never going to spend a single night in a house with a man like you." I handed him a manila envelope. "These are the divorce papers. I've already filed for an emergency freeze on the hidden account. Your boss might also be interested in the HR violation regarding your associate sitting in the 3rd row." I walked into the house, grabbed my pre-packed hospital bag, and my brother was already waiting in the driveway to drive me away. The divorce was finalized last month. Because Mark used marital assets to fund his affair and tried to hide $40,000, the judge awarded me the house and the majority of our savings. Mark was fired the week after the shower. The girl left him the moment he couldn't afford the hotel rooms anymore. Last night, Mark emailed me, "I made a mistake. I was just stressed about the responsibility. Please let me see my son." I didn't respond. I was too busy looking at my baby boy. He has my eyes and a future that doesn't include his father's excuses. Mark wanted a life without messy parts. Now he has exactly what he asked for, an empty, quiet life in a rented room. Some people call it betrayal. I call it a successful audit, and the numbers don't lie.